This is why I see myself as a character in a video game. So I first heard of this philosophy from a guy called Ray Dalio. He's a hedge fund manager and has around $124 billion worth of assets under management. I know it's a hefty figure. But he talks about in his book Principles about how he views his own life from a third person view, right? From a bird's eye view. That allows him to make better decisions throughout the days, weeks, months, and years. And I really dwelled upon this for a long time, and I started to implement some of the philosophy behind it. So it's easy to get lost in the forest amongst the trees, okay? But then you miss the view of the big forest. That's what this is about. It's about looking at your life holistically and not getting caught up in the day to day activities or tasks, which is very easy to do because there's so much noise in life, okay? When you start to see yourself like a character in a video game, imagine the last video game that you played. Okay, let's just call it Grand Theft Auto. There's a series of missions that need to be completed. Every time you load the game, you know exactly what needs to be done. You know how far you've come. You know where you need to go and what the next tasks are. And you start to improve the character. You start to complete more missions. You unlock more resources. You get more virtual money and the rest of it. It's the same application that it is to a video game, that it is to your life. It's the exact same thing. Problem is, a video game, we can see it from a third person view. We're making sure the character does XYZ, whereas we are the main character in our lives. So we're just going about the task. We never really take time to think, okay, is this the best decision? Or should we take this route? What's my goal? What do I need to do today? I've just loaded up my game. I've just woken up in the morning. What are the tasks? What are the missions that I need to complete? Now, I know this has got you thinking, because life takes on a whole different dynamic when you think like this. So let me give you an example. When I wake up in the morning, one of the first things that I do is one, meditate. I've been meditating for the past 4.5 years. And then two, I set my intentions for the day. Now, when I started doing this at the very start, it was a bit weird. Sat there thinking to myself, sometimes even saying it out loud. What are the three things I want to get out today? Right? What do I want to carry forward in my day? The first few days and weeks, you feel like, oh, yeah, it's kind of making a difference. But then it becomes a pattern in your life. And then throughout your day, you'll start thinking about the intention that you set in the morning. It starts to really set into your mind. So let's say your intention was to be kind to people, two, make healthy choices, and three, earned $300 for the day or £300 for the day, you'll start to feel yourself making decisions and making moves throughout the day that essentially lead to those three things, those three intentions. And that's the point of seeing your life like a video game character. Now let's take the opposing view, which most people fall into. You're in the middle of tasks every single day. You're in the middle of everything. Everybody's pulling you from left to right. Your phone's going off. You're on the laptop. You have work. You have a commute. You need to make food. You need to hit the gym. You need to make sure your friends are okay and your family's okay. There's so much that needs to be done. You're getting lost in the game. That's not what you want to be doing. You want to have your own set missions. In a video game like Grand Theft Auto, the missions are set for you. In your life, you need to set your missions. So you need to ensure that your mission is right, it's achievable, and it's sustainable. So think about your big goal, okay? Your big, huge, audacious goal. Now break that down into smaller yearly goals or even monthly goals. And then from those yearly and monthly goals, set even smaller goals that you can achieve day to day or even week by week. I like to do week by week goals. I have something called Notion, which is a free software which you can have. There's a mobile app and there's a desktop app as well. And it allows you to structure your life and set dates for certain things when things need to be done. That's how I work. If I leave it all to my mind, it just won't get done. Now, this is called mission setting. That's what I'm doing here. I'm setting my own missions so I know what I have to do to upgrade my character, which is me. Okay. I can't be responsible for just keeping all of this in my head and having to worry about achieving it, remembering which goals I'm trying to get to, which I'm not, which I'm sidelining. I have no idea. So you need to put it down on either paper or a software like Notion. What this does is it ensures that your character is going throughout the game of life, with its head screwed on, and you're hitting all these checkpoints along the way. And before you know it, what's going to happen? Weeks go on, months go on, and years go on. And you to the wider world seem unstoppable. It feels as if everything you're touching is turning to gold, but that's not the case. The case is you took control of your life, you set your missions, and you're achieving them, just like a video game character. Now, when people are outside looking in, that's what they're seeing. They're seeing this person who's just hitting goal after goal after goal and achievement after achievement. Will that bring hate and jealousy? Yes. There's a saying, everybody wants to see you do well, but nobody wants to see you doing better than them. And I firmly believe that. It's insane because there's also another saying, strangers will support your dreams more than people you've known your entire life. Why? People that have known you their entire lives, they know the journey you've been on and you know the journey they've been on. And because there's that tie there, there's that dynamic. When you all of a sudden do way better, you're a bit busier now. Your focus has changed. You might not be able to hang out as much because you've got big goals. You're providing value to people. You're donating to charities. You're retiring your family, your parents. You're giving people money around you. Things have changed for you, but everybody else will say that you've changed. What they mean to say is you've grown. They don't know how to say you have grown. So the alternative is you've changed. And that's not a bad thing. People along the way will fall off left, right, and center. And that is totally okay because they were never meant to be on your journey. And just like a video game, when you play a video game, the characters at the start, some of them fall off. They'll come in for 3 or 4 or 5 missions, then they go. And then the next one, 3 or 4 or 5 missions, and they fall off. And you only see them about a few times throughout the game. There's only those set 3, 4, 5 people throughout the entire game that are really ever with you. And it's the same thing with life. There is no difference. So Ray Dalio does talk about how this philosophy, this mindset has helped him just make the best decisions possible, whether it's his life or his business life. He is wildly successful, but not only that, he's also wildly successful in the game of life, right? He's got things ticked off and boxed off outside of life, and that's the key. Financial achievements are one thing, but when you've got a guy who's responsible for donating billions to charities and building up foundations and putting people through colleges and universities and doing so much good for the world and has a happy marriage and is a family man, it really is credit to him thinking of himself from a third person view, from a bird's eye view, and making the right moves along the way. And this is a key thing about success. A lot of it is making the right moves at the right time. Now, if you are just going about your life day to day, it's very hard to make the right moves, okay? You need to have this ability to step outside of yourself and just look at yourself and think, okay, this decision I'm about to make, A and B, which one's the right one? You need to know yourself. You need to know your character style. You need to know the market conditions. You need to know what the risks and benefits are of option A, the risks and benefits of option B. That requires an awareness. That awareness isn't going to happen if you're in the midst of it all and there's all chaos going on around you. That's just not going to happen. It's when you step back, look at it, bird's eye view, you weigh up the options, you make the logical decision, and then you move forward. And then guess what happens? There's another decision you need to make immediately after A and B. You have to do the same thing again. Once you've done that, there'll be another decision on the horizon, A or B. And you need to keep hitting these checkpoints like this. That's why they say success is never a straight line. Okay, it's never like this, although in people's eyes, it feels like that because they see people become successful and they think, this person's successful. They think there's something. That is not the case. Okay, this person has gone left, right, center, down, up, every angle you can think to get to success. They've even had to turn back. You know how many times I've had to turn back in my journey, take 3, 4 steps back so I can catapult forward? Countless times, countless times. Every successful person has a story, and this story is the key. So when I say this philosophy has helped me 10x my life, it's helped me improve my relationships with my family, my friends, my wife, my business life, my work life. I have this ability to step back, take a breath, and think about the situation. Instead of responding and being reactive, I'm just taking a second, okay, to understand what's going on, get all the facts, and then make a decision. And that's why it does to other people sometimes feel like my life goes from here to here to here to here, and these people are just stuck here. But it's because of this philosophy. So, Ray Dalio, thank you very much for this philosophy. It's changed so many people's lives, and it will change your life too. Okay, so think of your life as a character in a video game and look down on yourself from a bird's eye view from time to time.